Hello. Today I'm going to be going over some fiscal analysis. Okay, so if you are running a business and you want to figure out, how much should you charge for each package? We have a section in SharePoint actually that I've put together, and we have a lot of proposals in here. We have a lot of different tutorials on how to put proposals together, how to find grants, how to find RFPs, how to get work. A lot of companies, they actually wonder, well, how do I get work? They think you have to advertise, they think you have to find customers, but actually there's a whole different process to it. Large companies have the opposite problem. They have the problem of how do I find workers? So you might be a small company, how do I find work? But a large company is sitting there, how do I find workers? And a lot of times they don't want to hire employees. They just want to hire other companies to contract stuff out. So we put this together. It's not 100% complete, but we do have a lot of cool areas on here. And one area in particular that I want to look into today, I don't remember where I put it. Let's look in RFP links. Government links. I think it's in government links. Okay, so we have the GSA e-library. So let's open this up. The GSA e-library has a lot of different categories. So essentially what I'm going to be doing today is putting together a price list of a lot of different services. And you don't want to price, if you want to do really big contracts, or if you want to work with government agencies or Fortune 500s, you really should be looking at what the rest of the industry prices their services for. So this is a public address, gsaelibrary.gsa.gov, elibmain. Well, all you need is really the beginning, this little section here, gsaelibrary.gsa.gov. If you go there, I'll even copy it and show you in another browser. Paste that over here to get rid of that dot beforehand. This should take me there. Yeah, still takes me there. So if you go on this website, you can look for various industries, and we have a lot of different companies. And right now we're moving from more of a startup phase in our company. It's not startup, man, we've been around 15 years. But how we've ran some of the departments, especially the price listing for our services, we've ran that more like a startup, where I let our contractors choose the pricing themselves. We have let people kind of push us around on what the price is. So instead of doing that, I am hiring some analysts to come in and set the pricing for us. And the end goal is to get a GSA schedule. So for example, if we have an IT company, here's IT Solutions. If we're going to be offering branding or cybersecurity, advertising, web design, app development, any of those kind of industries, then you can go and look at the IT Solutions. It might be under there. So let's go look at IT. And let's see, it has two categories. So that would be called a GSA 58, GSA 70. And this one is for general purpose commercial information. So general purpose IT, equipment, software, and services. I'm going to assume that's what we need, but let's read the other one first. So professional audio, video, telemetry, tracking, recording. Okay, so if you're doing media production, the tracking and recording of it would be that guy. But for our company, we're doing IT, and we're mainly doing software and services, but we do equipment too. So let's click on it. Okay, now it has subcategories. So you can go through here and you can look at a lot of different subcategories that are underneath the 70. You can also, they have Excel files that cover everything. So let's do that. Let's get that Excel file. So you click download here. The file will contain contract award information for source 70. No idea what we're looking at. Let's go check it out. So have patience with me today. This is really going to shape how you can do fiscal analysis, how you can figure out what other companies are putting together. And the contractors that I bring on are going to put together a list of all of these and come up with a pricing for them. Okay, so this is just a lot of different contractors that are on the GSA schedule. And you can scroll over and you can see, are they woman-owned? Are they veteran-owned? Are they small disadvantaged business? Each of these is a different letter. So you can understand quite a bit about them. And these are their DUNS numbers. It says how long their GSA contract is for. So essentially what we want to do, we don't want to reinvent the wheel. You could look at these as competitors if we're also offering IT. And these are all under this category, the 132-100. And it's going to change once I get down further. So how many are on this list? Oh, I don't know. Quite a bit. 13,000. So that's a lot of businesses. And look, you have the email address for all these businesses. If you want to solicit them and do business with them, you can get direct access to them there. But that's not what we're here for. We are here to figure out what their pricing is. So let's find something like cloud and cloud-related IT professional services. So yes, we have a company. We do DevOps. We do cloud solutions. So I want to know, what is the industry standard for this? So let's go into 132.40. And these websites are ugly. If you want to do big business, you have to be okay looking at ugly websites. It's just part of the deal. And here's a list of everybody that has that 132.40, that has a GSA contract. The GSA contract pretty much says that someone in the government and their fiscal department looked over everything, analyzed it, and approved of the prices, approved of the structure, and agrees that that company is good to do business with the government. Now, don't take my word for it. I don't want any legal battles saying I might have worded something wrong. Go and look at the official websites and figure out what it is. I'm just giving you a layman's version of how I interpret this stuff. So what we want to do is go on here and let's just pick a random company like InfoZen, and let's look out. Okay, so it's an O. And that O, if you don't know what it is, I don't know if we can click on it. I'm going to hold down Control, click on it. It should tell me what O is. Yeah, here we go. So if you don't know what these are, this gives you a little index. And you might be able to position yourself the same as another business like yours. Are you a small business? Are you a woman-owned business? Are you a woman-owned small business? Are you a veteran? Whatever you are, that's going to help you. So if we look back over here, where were we on InfoZen? Okay, so you can click here and you can actually look at their entire price list, their contract that they have with the US government. Now the benefit of this, if you want to contract with the US government, you can literally just copy this and change the information to your own company, change the logo, and you don't really have to hire a full company to come in and create these contracts for you. They did the majority of the work for you, and this is all posted up on the internet. And look, there's 100 of them on here per category. There's just a ton. There's 159 contractors. So these 159 contractors are all the people, all the companies that are capable of doing cloud solutions with the US government. And keep in mind, I think it's about 75% of all US contractors are not based in the United States. The GSA schedules look like they are. These are all based in the US. But most contractors are not. Most contractors are international. But you can use the prices that you find in here to figure out the prices for your own company. So let's go back and let's look at this document. Now this document is a PDF file. Some of them are Word documents, and you can find these documents on their own websites. So we can go to the top and let's look up InfoZen. So it's infozin.com. I have no affiliation with them, never heard of them before. I just picked a random one out of this list. So on their website, you can see what they do, you can see what their services are, and you can get an idea, is my company the same as this? Do we offer similar services? Then you can also see maybe they have their pricing on here, and what they're going to do down at the bottom, or really anywhere on the page. See, they say GSA Alliant. They're pretty much bragging about the fact that they have a contract with the US government, this GSA contract holder. And then they're showing on here what they do, and they give a lot of information about how they work with the government. So if you do these things for your company, it's really going to tighten it up. It's really going to give you a lot more opportunities. So let's scroll down and show you the meat of what I'm looking for in here. So here's one of the meats. This is called your SIN, and you want to look for the right number. So they're saying all they're offering in this whole contract, come on, 4,000 pages? That is enormous. Some of them are 5 pages. Some of them are 30 pages. But 4,000 pages? What do they have in here? Well, anyway, they only have one SIN number, and that SIN number is 13240. So you want to figure out what your SIN number is for your company, and then you can find the contracts over here that are in the same SIN. So here we go. And if you don't know what your SIN is, just go out and look it up. GSA SIN numbers. And you can look up the SINs list, all of them. So, you know, that was IT. And then cloud services. Check that out. So IT Schedule 70, item number 13251 for all IT services. So it says widespread use of modern IT. And when you read this stuff, be very, very careful. Make sure that you're actually looking at a .gov website. There are so many commercial companies, even like mine. I'm not affiliated with the government. I'm a commercial company. So be very careful when you're listening to anybody that's not the .gov, because they're probably trying to sell you something. They might not have the right information. So essentially this is saying that for that one, it's 132-51. Now what we're looking at on here, this is 132-40. So let's actually go back. Let's scroll down to that 51. I don't know, see 51. There it is, 132.51. So IT professional subject to cooperative purchases. And it says all the stuff that's going on. Well, I like the last one we were looking at that said cloud stuff, but you can click on here for the one for the 51, and you can see other companies. Now you can hold multiple GSA contracts. You're not stuck to just having one. But man, there's a lot more vendors now that have this guy. So why am I making a video right now? Well, I am handing this video over actually to a team, and I am contracting them out to go in here and to download, I don't know, a dozen of these, get a random pick of a dozen different companies, and then we are going to restructure the pricing in our company so it reflects the random pricing of 12 different vendors that are in the same competitive categories that we are. And we're going to do that over the whole family of our company. So let's look up the family of companies that we run. So this is our company, Dow Limited, and we own quite a few different companies in multiple sectors. And right now, like I said, our service packages are more startup based, and we want to move those into an enterprise category. And I'm the CEO of the company. The main thing that I've learned in doing that is I don't like making my own decisions. I like to use the enterprise industry standard and follow the flow. That way, and I want to show people how we came up with the idea of what our price packages are and our structures. So you can click on all of these different areas to see the kind of companies that we run and what we do. And it's going to be a few months to get this whole package put together. But we're going to go in and analyze all the GSA schedules, and then we're going to create a Excel spreadsheet. So let's go back to that InfoZen. Yeah, InfoZen. So let's scroll down. So he has the SIN number here saying what service he offers. So that is on par with us. But now we have to scroll down and see, okay, so how much are you actually charging the government for your cloud services? So let's scroll down and let's find that. So this is saying the scope of work that they do. And now right here, it's saying what they offer. So they have servers, an EC2 server. I'm assuming that's a server. And they're charging per hour 50 cents per hour. Now, our company, we don't really do server management like that. We do other services. So I'm going to skip all of these. Maybe that's why they have 4,000 pages. They're listing out all this stuff. And I actually don't think it's smart to list out millions of services like this. It's better to charge a little higher price for one package and then just tell all your customers that you have, 10 services in a package, not 20,000. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so I'm probably not going to repeat what this company does, but look at Apple. I'm on like page 400, 500, and it still looks the same. And now they have just the GSA 00. So I just don't think this company's put together very well. If you look at what Apple did, they had a lot of different products, and Steve Jobs realized we have too many products, guys. Let's bring it back down, 5 products, or I don't know how many he broke it down to, but it was very, very simple. Just 5 prices, 5 products, that is it. So that is how I desire to run our companies in the future. Very simple price packages, very simple options. So we're not going to follow that company. So let's find Factor. Let's look at this guy. Okay, so these are all the SIN codes that he has. Special item number, that's called a SIN. So those are all the services that they offer. So let's scroll down and so yeah, the SIN, he just has one SIN. Some companies have multiple SINs. Okay, so let's keep on going until we get to that price list. Okay, is this it? Yes. Okay, so this is actually what I would want to get from this company. And it looks like they're increasing it by about 10% per year, just for inflation reasons. Because you sign a 5-year contract with the government whenever you do this stuff. 5-year, 20-year. You can look into that, the GSA schedules. So they essentially have these guys. Let's go down and see if they have more labor. Okay, so that might be it. So I like this one a lot better. Look how many pages. It's 11 pages long. That's not too crazy. And essentially what they do is at the very, very top, they say what services they offer. Then they give some legal jargon. Just skip all of this. Well, look at the SIN code. Look at the SIN code to make sure it's the same SIN code of the company that you're with. And, do that SIN code lookup that I taught you earlier to figure out what your SIN code is for your business. And okay, so at the top they give that SIN code, and then they go down, and eventually somewhere in there you're going to find the prices for their packages. So if you ever want to know what your competitors are charging customers, if you want to know what the going standard is, check these out. This is a great source of information. And then down underneath that, they're required by the government to lay out the rules for that particular role. So, they're charging $117 an hour for this dude. And if you look down here, that person has to have all of these uh, requirements. And then when they put a job posting out to try to hire this person, they're also required to actually put this in their job posting. So it's pretty structured. So something that's different in how we are running our companies. We're very much doing things how Apple does things. So when I look at this form here, I see they have 117, 150, 120, 220. What I'm looking for, can I get rid of some of these? I think I can. Why is a consultant and a developer pretty much the same price? I would just combine those two roles and I would call that, let's call it Senior Developer 1. And I would say all Senior Developers are consultants. Senior Developer 2 at 180, and then Principal Consultant IT 190. I would combine those, let's say 185. I would want to just have 3 different services in the whole company. I would want to have the beginning person at the lowest price. I would want to have somebody at the middle end, and then the leader, somebody at the top end. I would just want 3 prices total. That way you can hire your beginning staff and have a price for them. You have your guy that's been with you for 5 years, and then you also have the leader of the project that's getting paid a little bit more on the top end. And it keeps it very simple. Then you only have to write 3 different job descriptions. When you try to hire people, there's only 3 different roles in your company. If you're running a small firm, you don't need to go crazy with this stuff and have all these different requirements. The more options you give, the more legal hoops you're going to have to jump through, the more research you're going to have to jump through, and then if you get audits, the more problems you're going to cause. So what I want to do with this job that I'm getting this contractor for, I want to copy this table, and let's go back into SharePoint. And let's go into our documents. I'm going into the general folder. And how about we make a new document here, a new Excel sheet. And we'll put together, how do I change the name of this? Let's call it GSA Fiscal Analysis. Okay, so let me take a few columns to put some other stuff in. So that is send code. What are we on, guys? Wow, that's a ton. Look at all of those. So you got a lot of competition for this number, for number 13251. But the thing is, the whole world is moving in this direction. Literally every company out there needs these cloud services, IT services. They need developers, analysts. Okay, so where are we? Fiscal analysis. Okay, so back over here, I'm going to put that number in. And then I'm going to, I don't know, let's make it a cool background. Just put a background of orange on him. Let's do the whole row. I really like to spend some time on my Excel sheets, make them look pretty. Okay, so it put everything in the first column. Now, I'm not going to do this myself. I'm handing this off to another team, and they're going to make this all look pretty. And what else do we want to do on here? Let's put what that sin is. It was 132.51. It's not written in there. Let's click in here. Let's get some information about him. Okay, IT professional services. Yeah, let's put it in a second column. Then let's scale it out a little bit. And just to help the team that I'm going to hire, Yeah, at least for one of them. Let's take that out, put it in column 2. Hey now. Okay. So I didn't use my clipboard. And the reason I want to do this is I can actually create some averages in the future and then figure out, because my plan is to do this once a year and then dynamically update our prices based upon the industry average. I am using big data in our company to run our operations. We're trying to streamline everything so that we never make our own decisions. We are only using the industry standards. And people think, well, that's boring. But you know what? You still get a lot of creativity that way. You cannot hide human creativity. You can't hide human art. We show up and we add our personalities into everything, whether we want to or not. Okay, so what this is doing, it looks like he's multiplying it by 10% every year. So I would rather just add an equation in to do that. Let's try it out. Let's put a number 117.25, and then let's say this equals this column times 1.1. So that's 19. I might have it more than 1.1. 1.15. Alright, I'll figure it out. So equals 119.60 divided by 111 or 117.25. Is that what I want to do? If you guys watch my other videos, you'll realize I use every single piece of software out there. It's a 1. What did I make that? 15% increase. That looks like a... Can't figure my math out with you guys watching me right now. Okay, so 1172. It should be the opposite. I should be able to just do it this way. I don't know. Whatever. Someone that does numbers all day long crunching could come in and figure this out. That was 1.1. Was that too low? Oh, it's way too high. Is that because it's only a 2% increase? Maybe I should just listen to what's here. 1.02. Okay, I was right. I'm just not using my brain. Okay, so it's a 2% increase per year, not a 10%. Okay, and then I can just drag this out to the side, Yes, so they're going up 2% per year to get all of their new values. So that might be something that we do. We just might incorporate in a 2% increase. So I'm going to go in here, I'm going to delete this out. So whoever's doing this for me, this is what you'll want to do. And you also don't want to add in those money signs. You're going to want to get rid of that. And if you ever do want a money sign in Excel, use the little currency symbol. You don't artificially add your own number in. And it's realizing that. It's deleting it for me once I get rid of the rest. Okay. And then I'm going to go and find what this company is called. Factor. And I might get their Yeah, let's get their email address. Contract number. I'd actually rather have their contract number. You guys hear my birds? So something this simple might be enough. Let's cut them out and paste above. Oh, I'm on the online version? I am on online. Oh, whoops. I thought I was on desktop Excel. Okay, so essentially I want to go down through this list and I want to get 12 different companies. So maybe instead of putting SIN 132 up here, how about we call the whole sheet name? Let's call the sheet name that. And then we'll have multiple sheets with each different SIN number, and the analyst will go in, they will look online at the e-library, they'll look up that category, and then they'll come back, they'll put the information in here, and then I'll be able to step in and figure out what projects they have. So let's do one more just so you guys can see how I might do this. Alright, we'll scroll down, get a random one. American Business Solutions. I didn't need to click that. I could have just went over here. And I'm not really concerned if it's a small disadvantage or whatever. For now, I'm just getting any random one that's on the schedule, and later we'll come back and we will only get certain types. So this is a 50-page one. And yeah, if it's too crazy, I'm not going to take their information. So it already has the people here. They usually put the people underneath the price. So maybe I missed the price? Don't think so. Alright, let's go to the bottom. Maybe oh, there we go. Yeah, so you can't really miss it. Okay, so that's the thing. I don't want to waste all of our room on our pages listing all of these. Why does it say contract year 6? Where's year 1? Year 6. Whatever. Okay, so I don't know if I can just grab this column and that column. But if you guys know how to do that when you're extracting this, that would help you speed up a little bit. Okay, so the price range is pretty different from the bottom to the top. So I'm seeing how much I want to extract and pull in. I wonder if this is the name of the company, ACTT. Alright, so we're on page 44. I'll come back to that. I'm going to go back to the top, see what the name of this company is. Yeah, ACTT. Applied Computer Training. I'll just call it ACTT. ACTT. Then let's get their contract number. The reason I'm putting the contract number in here, whoever I hired to do this, you know, they could just make up random numbers. And I want to check their work, make sure that they're being truthful. Actually, I don't like 2019 there, because that might mess up my averages, because I'm going to do a whole column B average in the future. Okay, so let's come back. And I keep on alt-tabbing to the wrong spot. So I have this, and then I have a PDF document. Okay, so back to page 44. So yeah, I'm looking at the bigger picture. The bottom end is almost always 92 bucks. They get up to 103 bucks. Okay, so I feel comfortable just grabbing from this company. And they have a high end of 150. How about we just grab just this one area here. Pasting it in. And then let's also grab this dude at 150, because he has a quite higher price range. I'm very picky about what my cells look like. Very important that they have the right look to them. So at this stage in our company, we don't have the staff and manpower to put a whole team on this and make this perfect. But we do have the manpower to put maybe 40 hours of research into this. Maybe even 200 hours of research into this, and then put together some graphs. And we will be giving that back to the public. There are some companies that you can hire, and there are databases that they share some of this information, but they're pretty expensive. I mean, you might be paying $2,000 a month to get their analytical work, but we offer a lot of this stuff for free if you look at all of our technical briefs. And maybe I can put some information underneath this to talk more about the fact that every single position was actually, you know, they're not just the app developers. That's pretty much what I'm saying. So how would I do that? Because it's all level 1, 2, 3, 4, level 1, 2, 3, 4. So I wonder what their price structure is. 50, 54. $4 higher. 2% would be $3 higher on 150. So it's like 2.5% for that company. So the cool thing is, after we get this all set up, I could probably just put a 2% increase per year across every single price. And I want to look over the past 20 years to see what the average increase in salary is just in the whole country. And I just, like I said, I want to use big data. I want to figure out what all the averages are. People waste so much time using the emotions in business. There is no room for emotions in here. You just need to have a standard to it. Okay, so that looks good. We'll make a new row. Let's make them gray. And I think that's enough for our video for the day. We would come in and make one more in here. And we would just repeat the structure that we have over here. So maybe we can even copy all of these and then go over here. What line are we on? 2. I might do something with that line 1. So I want to go on line 2 and paste it in. but I'm going to delete all the values out. But now I have the look of it that's ready. For something else. And then I can actually duplicate this one a few times. So yeah, my crew is set up now. They have everything they need. So all we covered so far was the IT stuff. We do a lot more companies than just IT. So I want this done on IT. I want this done on construction. Pretty much if we have a company in Dow Limited that offers services, then we need to figure out the pricing structure and we need a fiscal analysis of that completed. So that's how I'm running it in my own company. You guys can use this information to build your companies, and anywhere you are, and you can bill US clients with this, but then your services also have to live up to this standard. Now, we've already done this for one company. We've already done this for our media agency. I want to do it again in the media agency to make sure. So this is our media agency, and here we go. Download the catalog. We made ours super simple. So this is what ours looks like. You can scroll down, and these are all the SIN codes that we have. So I'll put that in there, 541. All of these are different variations of 541. So let's go back over here. Let's go on the sheet, rename him 541. That way the crew knows to go and search that one. Okay, so where are we? We're on the catalog. Okay, so this is my Dow Media catalog. If you scroll down, it eventually gets to service information. It says the SIN number, it says the labor category of the person, and then it says the GSA rate. Now we have the exact same rate for every person. I feel like I want to change this. Oh, and then we also say what that person does. And we have a whole other page saying what they do. So I feel like I want to change this to where it only shows 3 prices, like maybe 110 for someone that's new, 140 for someone in the middle, and 220 for someone at the top. And we already did a little bit of research to figure out what the price packages were for media agencies in this 541 category. But I did not have an entire fiscal analysis done, and now that I understand this process a little bit better, we can figure out the competition's pricing much more clearly, and we can put in here in a much better way. Okay, so going back here, we have the first one all set up. I just want 10 more businesses put in, and then I'll go in and create some charts and probably Power BI analysis out of this. Then we have 541. And I want some different businesses put in here as well, the other SIN codes. So that's it, guys. I hope you learned something with this. Feel free to share this with your company, and you guys can really tighten up all of your budgets. You can figure out what prices you should be charging. You can figure out what services the government offers. If we go back in here, you can go backwards, and you can get back to see all the different areas that work with the government and go into that area. You can type in, for example, 541, and it's going to bring up the advertising services. I mean, it's a pretty easy program to figure out. Now, if you don't know what SIN number you are, you could also just type in advertising, and same thing, it brings up 541. So it doesn't take a lot to understand how this works. When you go into that 541, you can bring one up, and since this is media companies, they usually look better than the other ones. Oh, this one's still ugly. But it's only 13. Just trying to get to their price. There we go. So, man, their pricing changes a lot. From 38 all the way up to 180. But it makes sense. They have just an admin assistant. And then it goes all the way up to the principal designer, principal associate. Probably even have higher than that on here. Nope, that's it. $3 on brochure printing, price per page. Yeah, so easy to do for any industry. And eventually we're going to have this whole package done. And then we're going to update this about every 6 months, every year. And it's going to dynamically update our prices. And then we're also probably going to apply that 2%, 2.2% or whatever to each year. And we're going to scale out for the next 20 years what we predict the prices we're going to be charging. And then we'll just we'll update that accordingly, and that should really help our company be a lot more streamlined. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.